We begin tonight with a familiar topic. Very public tension between what are supposed to be two law enforcement partners, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara and Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty. At this time last night, O'Hara had just blasted Moriarty concerning a weekend incident in which 4 kids between the ages of 11 and 14 were shot while driving a stolen car. Today, Lou Raguse asked her office for a response, and he joins us now to sort out the latest dispute. Hi, Lou.
Hi, Kent. O'Hara and Moriarty have admitted in the past not communicating with each other directly, although MPD officers work with Hennepin County prosecutors every day. O'Hara has blamed Moriarty for not charging suspects, and she has blamed him for not submitting cases to her office. And the latest dispute is even more complicated because it involves juveniles, amidst efforts to change how they are handled in the criminal justice system.
We are referring youth offenders daily to community-based outreach resources.
In a fiery press conference Monday night, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara accused Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty of being untruthful in a press release her office sent out in response to the 4 children ages 11 to 14 who were shot while driving a stolen car.
In fact, 2 of the kids involved in this incident are in the county attorney's office YGVI program. So for her to say anything else is simply not true.
Moriarty's press release stated that none of the children aged 11 to 13 who were shot while riding in a stolen car over the weekend had been referred to our office by law enforcement for youth auto theft early intervention. The press release goes on to tout the effectiveness of that intervention program, but it doesn't mention, as pointed out by O'Hara, that 2 of the kids were already in one of the county attorney's other diversion programs, Youth Group Violence Intervention, or YGVI. In addition, according to Minneapolis Police, earlier this month they referred 2 of those kids, ages 11 and 12, to Moriarty's office for charges in a prior felony case.
The county attorney's office could have taken at least 2 of these kids off the street 10 days ago, prior to this happening. But for whatever reason, they didn't.
I think it's really important that we focus on, the young people.
Deputy County Attorney Sarah Davis gave an interview in response today, but says by law she can't answer specific questions about cases involving juveniles. But when I asked directly about O'Hara's allegations, this was her response.
Yeah, and I think we really need to move beyond any sort of finger pointing or blame, right?
Davis says in most cases, the office no longer charges kids under 13 because judges usually deem them incompetent to stand trial. In August 2026, the state is raising the minimum age for juvenile court from 10 to 13.
And so what ends up really needing to happen is you have to intervene with a social service intervention, which makes a lot more sense because that's more family-centered and provides the whole family context in that intervention with the young person.
Davis says if the Hennepin County Attorney's Office receives a case for a child they don't want to charge, they can initiate the diversion programs. Regarding the kids who were shot in the stolen car, Chief O'Hara says their parents begged police to arrest them because they can't control the kids and they're afraid they'll be killed.
The kids weren't charged, they weren't diverted, and despite pleas from their parents begging for help, begging for them to be detained, they were let back out into the street, into the same environment, to commit more crimes, which they did over the weekend.
But Davis says putting children that young through the court system ultimately delays getting them services to help them.
So everything that we're doing is we're trying to hold ourselves and our partners accountable to doing more effective, quicker interventions that we know that the evidence shows will improve outcomes. And it is working.
Regarding the shooting itself, we don't have an update. O'Hara said he believes the shooters were also teens, but no arrests have been made yet, Kent.
And that's the striking thing for me, Lou, because at a time in which the focus should be on what is the latest with these victims and the shooting, we're here again talking about 2 leaders who are talking through the press. They don't seem to be talking to each other. Is that still the case?
Right. That's as far as we know. We have not heard that Chief O'Hara and County Attorney Moriarty have mended that communication. But yeah, it started with the overnight press conference that the chief gave, in which Moriarty responded with the press release that O'Hara felt compelled to respond to because he felt like she was being untruthful in that press release.
All right, what a mess. Thanks, Lou.